Good evening. And if you're just tuning in, you are listening live to UFO Paranormal Radio Network, otherwise known as United Public Radio Network, or just UPRN, on 105.3 and 107.7 out of the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana. And this is the Angel Rock. I'm your host, Lorilei Potvin. Hi, Michelle in Australia. And I see Kelly Durant was waiting patiently. My wonderful guests are just going to hang in there for a sec while I do all the housekeeping. They're well aware of this, though, because they were part of UPRN before, but we're going to talk about that. Like I said, my name's Lorilei Potvin. I'm the host here of the Angel Rock, but I'm also a co-host on Thursday nights of The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with David Hansel, my good friend, who is an angel channel and very gifted psychic medium. I am a Canadian spiritual medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher and mentor, registered nurse, budding animal communicator, well-versed in the paranormal, not by choice, never went looking for it, it found me, and very well-versed with near-death experiences, having had one myself as a toddler and studied them professionally, personally for over 40 years. Now, if you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. There's something for everybody here. This network's been around for over 25 years, and we stream multiple shows daily, 7 days a week. And when we're not streaming, the archive server randomly picks shows over the last 25 years and plays them. We also have a ton of new hosts on the network. And like I said, there really is something for everybody here. Now, we have our own TV channel for the network too. It's on Roku. The Angel Rock will be streaming there till the end of the month. And I do stream The Thing at the Foot of the Bed on our channel. If you want to find it and watch it on your TV through Roku, you go to the channel store and you're going to look for UFO space P as in paranormal. There's a drop-down list, and we're about the third or fourth one down, and you're looking for UFO space paranormal and United Public Radio. Lastly, you're seeing me say hi to a bunch of people that just popped in. We got Polly, we got Kevin or Z-Sun Dragon, a friend of both of my guests and myself, Jonathan Keyworth of JK47 Paranormals here. And as you know, if you've been here before, both of my shows, I make very audience participative, because I always say if I didn't have all you beautiful people here, I'd just be talking to myself with my wonderful guests, which is always fun too, but we love to share the conversation. So if you'd like to join in, there's a multitude of ways you can do that. You can go over to UFO, Paranormal Radio, and United Public, I think it's Radio Network, on YouTube and Facebook. I'm streaming to the Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin on my YouTube channel. We're on Canada's Most Haunted, and there's a few other places. I'm streaming to my Instagram as well. I got to remember to always check the comments over there. They don't show up here. So if you're on Instagram, I will try and remember to pop in there and say hi. So thank you all for joining us. Now, my very patient guests here, they did have their 2 shows here on our network, but they've gone back to Facebook and YouTube, and they are still great friends of the network and really good friends of mine as well. I love them dearly. We have Roger Garza Sr. He's had near-death experiences before. He's a very gifted psychic medium, and his beautiful wife, Faye Garza, and she has her own show. She also is working on her own spiritual gifts. And in her previous Muggle job, I know she was working in the paralegal field. Yes. Now they have Latino Psychic Visions on Wednesday evenings here on Facebook and YouTube. They also have This Mug's for You on Saturday mornings. And I am so proud of Faye, because she started in November her own show on Tuesday evenings called Faye's Angels. So welcome, you two. So glad to have you here.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. It was Anne.
You know what's so hard about it? Because when you're hearing spirit talking to you, and I don't have a script, so I'm just like memorizing it. So I've been doing it for so long. I want to also say hi. I'm going to go up to the top, because we like to say hi to everybody. I know you all do too on your show, because I've been on your shows before, which I love doing. So he said hi to Kelly. Michelle's over there. I don't know if she's heading to work. She's in Australia, so sometimes she's getting ready for work, sometimes she has a day off, so we're glad you can join us. And like I said, Z-Sun Dragon, or Kevin as we call him, that's his name, his Muggle name, we'll call it. So his name, Jonathan. We got Polly Miller, Julie Evans, Nicole Ryan is here, welcome. Kelly Durant. I think I said hi to her at the beginning, and then Michelle. Oh my gosh, look at this. She gave us Fahrenheit. Over in Australia right now, it's going to be 41 degrees Celsius or 105 today.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how they do. I mean,
I
that's
can't take
just
that anymore.
Yeah, but don't you two get that where you're not that far away from me here in Canada. I'm smack
yes.
like we go anywhere, and it's been so beautiful here this winter. Like we
Mhm.
had some snow finally last night, and it's going to keep falling. But we go anywhere sometimes to minus 50 or 55. There's no
Oh,
difference
yes.
in
Easy.
yeah, in Celsius. And then in the summertime, we go up to 105, 110 with the humidex, right?
Well, not 110. I don't think up in here.
We had it up here that hot.
Wow, that's crazy.
Down in Texas, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not the norm, but we have
No.
had it. Mhm.
Well, yeah.
You
Well,
can
I
have
guess
it.
we have. But anyway, yes, I know what the extreme temperatures are. It's kind of strange how it can be so cold and then so hot and humid at
I
I
was
still have my script.
you got your did you have a script when you were on our
Yeah.
network? Did you?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
We are
Because we can.
broadcasting live from the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Network. Huh?
We still have it.
so do you guys what do you want to talk? I didn't even ask you. I was telling them
I gotta go right now.
you're going to go. I'm going to update them probably more on Thursday night, but I was updating them on the paranormal scenario that was going on here after Thursday night show after the thing at the foot of the bed. And let me tell y'all, it got crazy.
Well, and I was watching you talk about a little bit. Wasn't it Thursday night you guys were talking
Yeah,
about
we were
the
talking about
camera?
it.
And
Mhm.
then you said more things happened. Is that right? After
Yeah,
that show?
so for people that hadn't been here,
Yeah.
I said I'm well versed in the paranormal because my previous home, we lived through absolute. If I hadn't been there, I wouldn't have believed it myself. And we've also shared our story on the Travel Channel's Paranormal Survivor. Michelle DeRoche, our station manager, and she co-hosts The Outer Realm on Wednesdays and Thursday nights here, actually commented on our episode. I did not know her. She did not know us because you don't get to meet anybody in the show except the crew that comes to film. And small world that we now know each other.
Yeah.
Anyways, this home, we've had little things, but not big things. But and on Thursday, yes, we were talking about, and thank you for being there and everybody that pops in on Thursdays. Hi, Julie Jean Bassett. She says hi, Lorilei and Faye and I'll say and Roger because she said and everyone.
Hi.
Do you want me to do reads on this show or what do I do?
You just sit there and be
Just
pretty.
You get to
sit here
sit
look
and
stupid?
chat. You can do
We're gonna
readings,
chat.
whatever. We're talking about the thing that's, and apparently, y'all, somebody sent this to us. I had 3 or 4 independent opinions with this. So yes, you can send things. So, and everything is energy. Believe it or not, you can send it consciously and you can send it subconsciously. That's why I always say how powerful your thoughts are. Long story short, Thursday night after the show, my partner Dell and I went outside. It was almost 20 below, and we were out for a fresh air break. We'll call it that. And we tried to get back in the door. We couldn't get in the door. And my youngest son was upstairs with his headphones on playing video games, so he couldn't hear us. And there's an upstairs. It's like a house here, the townhouse we're in. And there was a picture that hung right by the door at the bottom of the upstairs going down. And there's a railing there, and then you have the front door. And while we were outside, somehow that picture fell off the wall and wedged itself perfectly between the safety railing going down to the bottom of the stairs and blocking the front door. And we couldn't get in. We had Dell had to, like, I'm not kidding. I was just saying to Roger and Faye, I don't know if I could have done that by myself we had to break the picture to get in. And then I knew.
It was cold. And did you have to break the door?
No, it
good.
was the picture that was blocking the door. So you had to be able to ram the door hard enough to be able to break the wood frame of the picture to get in. Mhm. Yes. So we cleaned the house. Let's put it that way. I cleaned the heck out of this house with Palo Santo and prayer and the things that I do to do a house cleansing. So I did it. So Michelle says, so it was spooky nonetheless. So Michelle says,
Yeah.
can someone send energy to heal my crook neck? So
Mine too.
yours too. So everybody that's got a pain in the neck, literally, I guess, and
I
figuratively.
do.
Thank you.
That's why I said literally and figuratively.
No, but mine, I fell off the stage, so that's why.
Oh,
He's
your
good.
neck's still bugging you from that, Roger?
Yeah.
I forgot to add, yes, Roger is a musician too. Roger Rabbit, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
played with some pretty famous people. He has and still does, and he had fallen off the stairs. So
No,
or off
there
the
was
stage.
no stairs.
Stage. I got stairs in the brain. Stage. Sorry.
Yeah,
Stage.
it was the stage,
With
and
the
it
other
was.
guitar player on top of me.
I mean, it could be a funny story if it wasn't so
No,
painful,
it's
but it's
not
not funny.
fun.
But I mean, yeah, it was, and I didn't. And the sad thing is, I'm at all his gigs, but I didn't see it because there's this big speaker in the way of the
Okay.
whole thing, and so somebody had to run to me saying that this happened. But yeah, it was last September, and we're trying to get better ever since. So
Oh,
there
well,
he
I'll send
goes.
you some healing after. Oh, I know the other thing I forgot to add Thursday night too. We had an EVP, and I want to give a shout out to Nicole Thomas Ryan. She was the one that heard it, and she clipped it from the show Thursday night and sent it to me. We indeed did. For those that don't know what an EVP is listening, that's electronic voice phenomena. Recording can pick up. What were we going to say, Roger? I could see you.
That's who I want to go to, Nicole.
Oh,
You want to go to Nicole Thomas?
Please,
Ryan? I
yes.
guess Roger's doing readings tonight.
I
I never
picking it
worry
up.
about talking to you guys because we always have lots to talk about.
But I just pick it up like that. Nicole, I don't know if you're intuitive or not, but
She
there's
is.
like a whirlwind going around you like this. Like it's all energy. I mean, it's just constantly going. And I'm getting it by your right heel of your foot, the right heel. And that's where it starts. And then it just goes like a tornado around her. And it's got her in it. And it's going.
Okay,
I've
so now
never
that you're
seen
telling
that.
her it's a tornado, though, are you feeling that it's something that needs attention, or is it just to notice, or what are you feeling? What are you hearing?
It's almost like I said, I don't know what she does, but it's almost like if she had power and touched something, it would, like a light bulb per se, it would.
You know what I hear for her when you say that she's powerful. She's powerful, and what I hear from spirit is she doesn't. And I hope this is okay, Nicole, to say this, but you don't even realize how powerful you are in a good way, and we all have these gifts, right? So, keep doing what you're doing to be accessing them and working with them and doing what you're doing. Unless you want to throw something else in, Roger.
Well, like Michelle says, that is Michelle, right? Yeah, the Tasmanian devil, it's like that. It's a whirlwind that's constantly around her. So when she walks, it goes with her. What she touches has a super energy, She could heal like crazy.
I've
That's
never
what I
heard.
said. What spirit said. Yes, definitely.
It's quite a visual.
Mm-hmm.
I've never
Well,
seen that
Nicole
though yet.
says, my left Achilles is injured. I am an empath and I can affect people.
That's weird, but I picked it up. Maybe it's because we're backwards or something because of the screen or something. But it looks like the right ankle to me. And she says it's the left one. So I don't know.
She can affect electronics.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Like
wow.
overpowering it. And they just
Wow.
I'm hearing that if you're finding it's a problem, that it might be beneficial to practice grounding.
I was just gonna say
Definitely.
grounding.
For you, yeah, in the morning and at night. And then if you're finding that electronics are getting really wonky, to maybe pop out for a second. She works with little children, so if you can on a coffee break or something and do a quick grounding. She said I needed that. She said I doubt myself.
Don't ever doubt yourself, dear. No. You have the power to heal. Heal people.
Oh, listen to this. I'm glad for the feedback. Michelle just said, not sure if someone has done something, but my neck has lessened in hurting, I think is what she meant to type. So, well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of energy tonight. So, you
Yeah,
guys,
right?
as you said, Roger is a medium. I'm a medium, and we're both psychics. And Faye's working on her gifts. We all have these gifts, you guys. We all do. So,
But
you
I'm
guys,
double X.
what's that?
I'm double X. I'm not medium.
You're 2X.
Yeah, I said double X.
Oh.
Great.
Okay.
I got bigger boys at my house too, so I understand that.
Yeah.
So Nicole teaches pre-K. I love kids that age. I love them. I really, really do.
And it's almost like if she touches a kid and all of a sudden, you get that electrostatic. She's got man, it's overwhelming.
Well, she said thank you. She needs that. You know what? It's the weirdest thing, and I've never forgotten this. When I was in university for nursing, I was in third year, and I was late, and I was annoyed at something. But I didn't come in. I wasn't angry. I wasn't slamming my books or anything. And I remember my professor saying to me, she stopped the whole class, and she says, "Lorilei, do you realize that when you're in a bad mood, it affects the whole class? And vice versa, when you are happy, the same thing happens." She said something to the effect, so be careful about what kind of mood you enter my classroom or something. And I mean, she had no right to say that, but she did. And it's always sat with me. And it's weird because you do have to be mindful of your energy when it can affect other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes you don't even know you're doing it. You might be having a difficulty, and I think I'm pretty readable. So my kids will always say, what's the matter? Or Roger will say, okay, what's going on? I mean, you can emit a lot. You can change the mood of the room by just a look, I suppose, doesn't have to be slamming the books.
Can I mention something else too? To
Sure.
another person you have, our dear friend on here, Julie Evans.
You say whatever you want. Well, first, do you mind if I read this feedback from Michelle? Because it's about Roger. So Michelle said, Roger read me another time about my family and lies. It was very helpful. So thank you, Roger.
Oh.
That's why I wanted to read it.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so Julie Evans, I'm going up, Roger. Is that where I'm going? Here?
And I don't mean to pick on you, dear. You know that.
Is that where? Or is there
Julie, I don't need to put you on the spot or anything like that. But I need you to see if you could schedule a mammogram.
Okay.
Okay?
Does she check
I don't mean to be rude or nothing like that or forward, but please, just pick it up.
Okay. I'm just going to say hi on Instagram here. We've got Harry's World South Street that joined because they don't show us the comments on Instagram for some reason. So I just popped over there. So always good to know. Always good to hear. She said I'm due again soon anyways. So
good. Always good.
Hello.
Always good to stay up on that.
I'm going to make it clear, just because we go out all over the world and everything else. Even though I'm a nurse, and with what Roger's doing, this is energetically what we pick up. So we're not diagnosing anything.
Oh, no. We're not a doctor.
No.
We just share with what spirit gives us or what we feel or energy wise see. So if somebody else has a question, or you feel free to type it in the chat. You're more than welcome to. And let Roger do it, or you want us both to hop in? Roger and I were tag teaming readings there that Saturday. You're taking it was this mug's for you, and Faye, you taking your little grandson to see the dinosaur exhibit. Roger and I, how long did we go, Roger? Like 3 hours?
2 hours, 2.5, no, 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We had a ball though. God, it was fun.
So Julie said, I've already had breast cancer and 1 mastectomy. Okay,
I'm sorry, and I don't mean to, like I said, to put you on the spot or nothing, but I go to the left one. I don't know why, but that's where they take me.
Yeah,
the one that's closest to the heart.
And it's always good to. Well, she probably, like she said, you would.
She probably already knows that. It's important.
Yeah, I think that's why she said I'm due again soon. So let's. Michelle says, can I ask, should we sell our home? Sorry, curious. You don't have to be sorry, Michelle. You can, like I said, go ahead and type in questions if you'd like to ask.
You want it or you want me to?
You go ahead.
Who's a goat head?
Roger.
You're the goat head. Let me
Mhm.
just answer that.
To me, they tell me no, wait till after the summer.
And she put XX. Okay. Because I was, so after the summer, now you got to remember, they're in
July,
summer.
August,
Okay.
September, in that area, going into the fall.
Julie Jean Bassett, you definitely should. She says, I love doing readings and haven't in a while. Spirit is nudging me. For those of you that don't know Julie Jean Bassett, I have to give her a shout out. She is an incredible
Yes.
animal communicator. She helped me with my own cat that was peeing on my son's bed intermittently and not a health issue. She gave her a lot of healing, and just she would never push it on an animal. My cat had agreed and asked for it. I took her animal communication course, and also she's an incredibly powerful shamanic practitioner. She had made such a profound change already in one session I've had with her, and I will be having more in the near future. So you guys check her out. She's incredible. Faye, throw in what you wanted to say. I can hear
Yeah,
it
you can
already.
tell that I can't wait to say that Julie was on my show too, on Faye's Angels, and uh, we learned some. I was just so happy that we didn't expect it. Some of the people were having questions about their cat or their dog or whatever, and she not only was able to answer a question of one of our viewers who comes to our shows a lot, about the cat, why the cat was meowing, because a spirit was visiting her. All of a sudden, the cat was meowing a lot, and Julie saw that it was a spirit, a grandfather spirit. And then Julie went to talk to the great grandfather. I mean, it was not only into the cat, but it was into the great grandfather. And Lisa was just well, not overwhelmed, but she was very grateful. And Julie helped me with my own cat as well. And I mean, in one episode of my Faye's Angels, I
Mhm,
I was able to um, be surprised again. Remember how I said I'm constantly surprised by the people who are on my show, but I
mhm,
shouldn't be, but I am
mhm.
because it's just all just kind of new to me in a way. I don't know why,
It's
but
just because we've never been exposed to this, right? And then all of a sudden you realize there's a whole, I always say it's almost like opening Pandora's box, but not in a negative way, but you can't put
no.
the lid back on, right?
Right. I mean, it's kind. I mean, although Roger does this, I have been helping him on producer shows for 6 years. It's really wonderful to see this sameness in other mediums. This it's there. You're all different,
Mhm,
but you're all a lot alike. Wonderful people,
mhm,
generous people, and also just the way you guys go into and even the looks you have when you're going in there. It's
mhm.
the expressions you have. I can tell. It's just amazing to me. Anyway, I just had to say that little thing. Sorry. Not
That's
sorry.
so that's okay. You're here to talk, both of you
I
tonight, not
know. I
me.
know.
So Julie had some feedback for you, Roger. She says, "Gosh, was on the right where she had the mastectomy. So we'll go for the not mastectomy. Please forgive me. The mammogram on the left side." And she said, "Thank you." And
You're
then
so welcome,
Julie
dear.
has a question. She said, "If drawn to answer, I would love to know if my finances will get better soon."
You know what I got? You know in the cartoons when they show somebody step on a rake and the rake hits you in the face? That's what I got. It's her that's stopping her finances.
You and I are right on the same page. No, I'm laughing because go ahead. You finish what you were going to say, and I'm going to
No,
add.
no, that was it from what I saw. It's just like boom, she stops right there, and then the finances stop.
So, what I was hearing and feeling is, Julie, it's almost like a dam in front of the water. Like you've got a whole stream behind you that's building up into this torrent, and it's almost like it's a vicious circle. The more hard seems the harder you try, the more the dam seems to build up and the pressure builds. And what Spirit's showing me, and I don't know, just a suggestion, but if you have maybe a fellow classmate mate or practitioner that does what you do, because I always say I find it the hardest that to do the healing on ourselves, obviously. But if there's something you could clear with that belief system, and it's not that you don't believe it, but, and again, I'm trying not to get too personal here, but about self-worth and deservingness, as well as showing the universe, because you're so giving and such a beautiful soul, but showing the universe that you are so open to receiving too, right? We've got that duality here.
Did you see what she put?
I did. She said, I'm holding myself back. I'm being my own obstacle. Well, part of it is to add is it right. And you know this too. We all do. But the harder we seem to try when it comes to things like this with energy, the more it seems to get blocked up. It's always meant just to flow, right? And
Right.
it's a hard thing when you're dealing with money and you've got
Yeah.
bills to pay, right?
Right.
So it's hard to get in an easy space to
Yes.
allow that to flow.
The one thing that I had on my door when I lived in Texas, Faye will tell you this too. It says always and forever. God's will, God's time.
Mhm.
I put that
So,
on my door.
Were you going to say something, Faye?
well, I was going to say that, you know, there's always a practical, I'm always a practical person when it comes to finances. I'm sort of the one who, I mean, I've always been that way. And I just, I no longer worry. But one thing I do is I just don't, I no longer worry about finances. I know that everything's going to be okay. I
Because I
don't
would
know.
tell her, leave it to God.
Well, yes, I leave it to the universe. I leave it to my source. I just cannot worry about it anymore, and everything seems to be okay.
Well, that's okay. So Julie said yes, and hard not to worry about being able to pay bills. I get that. I
Hmm.
really, really do. And that's one of those things that we need money as an energy source to live on this planet. So somebody told me years ago. I used to get a lot of natural healing things done before I was in this field, working actively like I am now, and I was worried about money. I mean, I always say, if anybody thinks I'm off having a good time, right? Just jokingly now, but as a
Hmm.
nurse, I would be making a heck of a lot more money. But my
Right.
point is, she said to me at that time, and this was years ago, and she said, "Do you have everything you need right now?" And I said,
Yes.
"What do you mean?" No, I said, "What do you mean by that?" My kids were really little then. And she said, "Do you have a roof over your head?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Do you have a bed to sleep in?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "You're going to be able to eat today, right?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Your children are healthy right now. And pretty well, you have everything you need, wouldn't you say?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Then that's where you have to try and focus, is where I am now." And the thing is that with money, it's a hard thing. And especially I think a lot of us with money, worrying about it, I think we really absorb a lot of belief systems as small children that we don't realize that we do, especially say we came from a family, and I'm not saying Julie did this, it's just in general, where you hear things like money doesn't grow on trees, or things like that we absorb, because I keep feeling like this is sort of deep seated belief systems, Julie. And on top of that, we have that fear and that worry. So we worry. And when we worry, right, like attracts like energy.
Right.
But it's not easy to say, don't worry about it, because we do have to worry about it, because you got to pay your bills and everything. So my advice would be, if you can, to maybe work with, I'm really hearing a shamanic practitioner, an independent one from yourself, but to go in there and help you unravel some of these blockages and belief systems, if that might help to allow that dam to open up, if you will, for that to open up for you, if you will. And she said, "Oh yes, heard those all the time." So what I'm going to say to you, you asked, will my finances improve basically pretty soon, or will they? They will improve.
Yep.
And even if you don't believe it, I tell people this all the time. and I always say I walk the walk of the talk that I do, is to tell yourself my finances are great. Money is just an energy source. I love money. Money loves me. I even have a song in my music list. I kid you not. It is woman singing a song about I love money and money loves me. To
That's
listen to it,
perfect.
write it up all over the place. I
Hmm.
draw money like a magnet to me. Money comes to me easily, right? All of
Yeah.
these things, even if you don't believe it, our little
Just
computer
say it.
that we think runs the show, it doesn't, and it will program itself and change your belief system. Write it on your mirror, write it everywhere. As soon as you start to worry about money, I have everything I need right now. And just keep telling yourself, I know it sounds lame, but it's not. It really does work. And when you look back on it, anybody out here listening that's struggling, and I'm not making tons of money, but you know what? I have everything I need. And the thing is, when you look at that, right? And haven't you two even found this yourself that, maybe you're struggling and you're worrying about money one time in your life. And then when you look back on it, it seems to work out every month at the end of the month in strangest of little ways to make it. Wouldn't you agree?
Hmm.
So everything.
Totally agree. Totally agree. I was so scared to retire. I thought I was going to not be able to retire. I thought I was going to have to work until I was 93. But
Oh
guess
my
what?
goodness.
I mean, I kind of joking there, but all I had to do was just say, well,
Hmm.
I can't work until I'm 93. I have to stop pretty soon. And so I just stopped worrying. I stopped worrying. I worked on getting those bills paid. And then I said, okay, I just can't do it anymore. I just can't. And being
I,
abundant doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money. It just means
Yeah, I put that
find
on
the best
register.
deal,
Hmm.
save money.
you
If
and
you
Faye
can.
keep talking. I got to go lock the door in the
Okay,
You got
bye
to
front.
go
bye.
lock the door? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, front door.
Because I do want to add this to Julie. I'm going to read Kelly's message and then I want to add something to Julie here.
Hmm.
She said, Kelly says, I just want to give a shout out to Jonathan. Okay. And you can certainly message him quietly and let him, or quietly. I don't mean that. I mean, you can certainly message him.
Personally.
Thank you. My brain is going all, I'm hearing the snowblower. I'm hearing spirit.
Oh, was that the noise I was
All the
hearing?
time.
I was hearing a kind
Yeah,
of.
it's a snowblower.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
snowblower. Dell's outside blowing the snow because we got quite a bit.
Oh,
So
you
she
did.
said she wanted to shout out Jonathan. Yes, Jonathan is a friend of mine and he's friends with Roger and Faye. He's been on their shows. And Julie says, I do have everything I need at the moment. But that's a thing, right? And the other thing I found too, because I've struggled with it myself, and I'm going to share this. I've looked at four of the biggest fears in the world, apparently. And this one just stunned me. I think it's number 4 on the list is the fear of success, right?
Yeah.
And we talk ourselves out of it. So, I've had many people say to me, oh, I can see you on a stage and doing all this stuff, right? And you start to picture it. And then you hear the what ifs like, oh, well, how would I leave my son? Oh, how would I do this? Trying to
It's the
figure it all
how.
out.
Yeah, it's all the how.
And
Stop the how. It's not really, it isn't even applicable. I mean,
mhm.
things will happen as long as you just stop doing the how. Stop
Yeah,
asking that question.
it is. It is. I really do get it though, because money is a big thing for a lot of people and a lot of people struggle with it. And you've even heard the saying, money is the root of all evil. No, it isn't. But we've heard that. These are the type of belief systems I'm saying that we've heard or we've absorbed that people don't realize we're hanging on to these things. And again,
Hmm.
fear of success is another big one. Sometimes we block ourselves from it. We don't even realize that we're standing in our own way because fear, it's important. It's an emotion that we're here to experience. But when we're in a place of fear and worry or anxiety, that's our lower energy, right? And then we
Right.
attract more of what we want. So the universe doesn't hear not or no or whatever. So when I'm not going to have enough money, not, and it'll, oh, you don't want money. Okay, fine. Here, we'll give you more of that. And that happens, right? So.
Hmm.
Oh, I still have the pin comment be right with you. I guess I should unpin that, right? So Polly says, I'm fine with finances. It's everything else. Animals are my focus. You'll have to share more, Polly, or do you know more about Polly at all? Is that one of your people that follow you, Faye?
Are you saying to me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Polly's with us a lot, and I mean, I don't know much about Polly's animals yet,
Oh,
so
she'll have to
no.
tell us more then
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
I think she's just started viewing us a little bit, and so I'm so happy that you've come over and are watching the show here with Lorilei.
Mhm.
You're gonna love Lorilei too,
Oh, yeah, I'm glad.
definitely. And on Thursday night as well with David.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Thursday night's different. Yeah, with the
yes,
thing
it
at the
is, but
club.
it's fun.
It is fun. Yeah, it's lots
It's
of fun,
very
isn't
fun.
it? So Julie says, yes, money is not the root of all evil. Greed is. Well, then you know what? Oh, did we lose Faye? I think we lost
What
Faye.
happened?
I don't know. Faye, are you coming back, Faye?
Where'd you go, honey?
I know you can hear her. Oh, wait. I see another add to the stage, and then I'll unadd her. There.
Oh,
I don't know what
oh,
happened there.
I got when Roger shut the door, I got booted out.
weird.
I don't know.
I don't want to ban you. I think I kick you from the studio. Isn't that awful? I have to kick you.
I know.
It's awful. Such terrible language. Okay, so Kathy Hanley Little says the
Hi,
want of
Kathy.
money. The want of money is the root of all evil. I don't know. I don't think I agree with that. I think.
I would because it comes in the form of the greed.
Well,
Well,
I don't know.
no, but look at the word of greed. Greed is taking it all for yourself without a thought for anybody else, and stepping on people to get it, and doing really
Well, I wasn't going
awful
that
things.
extreme, but
No,
yeah.
but
Well, no, that is true.
that's a belief system with money. If you believe, which I do, and I'm not saying you have to believe what I believe, but there's enough to go around of everything. There's more than enough. There is nothing wrong with saying I love money or I want money, or that's what I'm talking about, these belief systems. We've all been led to believe this, right? Like
Right.
that it's, and again, I don't know all the answers, but if we truly believe that in the work of abundance, that there is more than enough to go around for everyone, is the world set up that way? No, because everybody should be able to have a share of what they need. But I don't know, I don't think the want of money is evil. I mean, I love money, money loves me. If we look at money as an energy source, and that's all it is, right?
Yeah, but do you take in the money and keep it for yourself, or do you share it?
I think that that's the journey you're on. How you spend your money is your business.
Well, yeah, I know that, but what I'm saying though, like me, I told Faye if I was a multimillionaire, I think I'd be broke right away because I would be
Oh,
giving
don't
it
get
out.
me wrong. If I was a multimillionaire, for myself, would I keep it all for myself? No, I would make sure my children were looked after. And David and I have often talked about this long before we started our show. We always said, both of us, if we ever won a big lottery prize, we would love to open an animal rescue to all animals. But we can't judge other people
True.
because how they choose to keep it, or we don't know what people's, you know what I'm saying, like to stand back and look at somebody that's won. Did we lose Faye again? I don't know what's going on here. That is
Honey,
so,
what happened to you again?
I'm trying to get this one to go out. Hang on, I'm going to kick you there, and then hopefully we come back on. So I'm going to get back to this. Okay, let's see if that's her there. I don't see her. There she is. Now she's back. It keeps trying to add your other source, Faye. Like I've
Oh, I see.
yeah, so I kicked it out again. We'll see what happens. But
Okay.
okay, so where were we with this money? So the thing is, where you're coming with this, and I'm not saying any of us are wrong or right, just some food for thought, right, Roger? And exactly, if you feel if you won the lottery, you would basically be broke. But to stand back and look at how other people, what they would do. Would you stop, you little monkey? Come here. My cat's decided she's making an appearance. Here, come here.
Hi, cat.
Say
Oh
hello.
my gosh.
Say hello, everybody. Now my
How
dog,
beautiful.
the whole zoo.
Oh.
Get down, get down. Yes, I know you're jealous. You get down. No, but to stand back and see what people do with their money, or you know what I'm saying, it would be the same thing.
My thing is pay it forward, you know.
But that's you. That's your journey. Maybe for some
Yeah.
people, they were coming here to experience what it's like to have a lot of money.
I mean, I know what it's like to be dirt poor. I've seen it. I had a friend of mine in Mexico
Mm-hmm.
who he took his mom and dad left, right? And left him in charge with the kids, and they never came back. And he had to fend for 5 kids other than himself.
Right.
And they had a dirt floor and lived in a one-room shack. The only thing they had was like a little stove thing to keep them warm.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget that scene as long as I live. And I tried to give him $20 for food, for the kids and all that, and he refused to take it. He said, "What happens when the 20 runs out?" He said, "They're going to expect more."
So
And I said,
sad.
"Well, please just take it in case you need it for an emergency, something." And then finally he took it. I convinced him.
Some people look at it as charity. Like I have seen other people, like I love watching those channels on YouTube where people's subscribers send in money and they go and bless people with the money and help people. And some of the most generous and giving people that I have seen are the people that are homeless or who don't have very little. And how he'll start, it's Jimmy, what's his last name? Dots or something. He'll go and say, "Hi, you know what? I just need 25 cents more. I need to buy my little girl a birthday present, and I lost my
I
job."
saw that where he tests people. Yep, that's cool.
I think that's awesome, and people support him, and I always feel so good after I watch that. But like Julie said, I don't believe wanting money is evil. I want money so I can be a blessing to others. True.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah, but other people, maybe it was their journey to come here. You hear
Jimmy Darts.
they're saying rags to riches, right? Maybe they were here to come and experience what it was like to be very poor and then what it was like to be very wealthy in the same lifetime and what they do with it. You would learn a lot from that, especially in your life review on how, because we're judging people when we look at how people spend their money is what I think, right? And don't get me wrong, we all do it, myself included, but I really try to remind myself, I don't know their story. My dad used to say to me when I was a little girl, he always used to say, "Laura, walk a mile in their shoes." When I was a little kid, not that I was always judgmental, but if I was looking at something a certain way, and then I realized he's right. And we don't know people's stories or why they do what they do. So to me, if money is just an energy source, and that's all it is, like everything else on this planet is energy. Same thing. I get people that'll say to me, "Well, I do readings and I don't charge for them." Or you'll get people saying, "Well, I don't need to charge for a reading." Or "Why are you charging for a reading if it comes from God? And, God doesn't charge for you to have his wisdom," or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody wants to judge everybody. And then I think we come from a place of it being so divisive right now. And we have never had any more bullying than we have had. It's at an all-time high.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? When somebody says that to me, I'll say, "Can you give me $251?" And they go, "Why?" I'll say, "That's my truck payment."
Yeah.
You know what I say to them? I say, "Hey, I'm really happy for you, but you know what? Like with your just food for thought, but basically we should be able to go into any grocery store then and take all the food in there because it all comes from God.
God.
Right? Money is the energy source on this
Very
planet.
well put. I like that.
It's true. So
And you should be able to walk out with it too.
money is the energy source for this planet and how we pay for things. And like, even when we do things spiritually, right? I know for myself, and I'm not telling other people how to live, but for me, I feel that if I'm going to do something for someone, or I shouldn't say, I want to turn that around. If someone's done something for me, is what I wanted to start with. I feel like I would like to have to return the favor, if you will, to have an equal energy exchange. It just brings things back to balance for me. And it doesn't have to be that way.
That's just what they used to do in the old days. Remember when people would bring fruit to the church or something, and then you intermix everything and everybody would eat. And that's what it was all about.
Or potluck. Everybody brings something, right?
Yep.
Hi, Ruthie.
And I'm not saying that Kathy, you guys have shared so many of your audience since I first met you. You've got such great people in your audience for your shows. I know Kathy was how she found our show. So I appreciate that you made that, or you put that post up there, Kathy, because I think it really helps have a discussion. And none of these things that I'm saying are the be all to the end all, or the right or necessarily wrong. For some people, it will be wrong, and that's okay too, right? But
who's your judge?
who's your
He's
judge?
up there.
Well,
That's
true,
the
but
only judge you have.
I think our judge, and you're going to argue probably with me, we lost Faye again. Goodness gracious. You might have to come on with you. I think our judge, here we go. Hang on, Faye. Hang on, Faye. I know you can hear me. I'm going to boot you from here. Hang on.
Ready, go.
And then I'm going to bring you on here, and hopefully that'll stop it. I think our judge,
Hey, baby.
would you stop, you little monkey? Now my cat's munching on the court. Sorry, guys. We have a life review when we go back. Now, who judges us when we have a life review? God doesn't judge us.
We do.
We judge ourselves. And
Yes.
there's no judgment. We look at it and
Right.
what did you learn?
Yep.
That's what it's about.
I'm reading, you know what book I'm reading right now?
What's that?
The one that, and who's going to be on my show, thanks to you, Lorilei,
Who's that?
is the one, the Afterlife book, and it's Mr. Chong, Stephen Chong.
Oh, Stephen. Oh, so you got a hold of Stephen?
I got a hold of Stephen, and I'm in the process of reading his book, which is about afterlife. And I don't know how I got there, but I don't mean to distract the conversation, but it is wonderful. It's a wonderful book, by the way. It is.
I love Stephen's coming back on the Angel Rock.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because everybody, I know when I get a lot of feedback, or somebody's like a multi-author like he is, I usually end up having them at least back. I'll probably have him back more than once.
And a lot of the book does talk about the review, and it is very interesting as to
God doesn't judge us.
no,
God doesn't judge us about it.
And in this wonderful book, he talks. It goes through the review of your life, and it is a fascinating book. It is.
Oh no! Wait, what is
it again?
I'm gonna just boot her from here, and hopefully she can get back on.
Son, hello.
I don't know what's going on here. Hi, Ruth. And she says hi, Lorilei, Faye, and Roger, and chat. And I know you had said hi earlier. There she is. Let's see if I can get her back on. There we go. Sorry about this, guys. We're not quite sure.
Honey, will you quit playing hide and seek?
I wonder if am I getting the hint that I should go?
You're not going anywhere. Kathy, thank you. I wanted to give her. She said that was the name of the YouTube channel, Jimmy Darts, and there's a few others that do that as well. That's the one where he.
But he's got such a beautiful concept.
I love it.
You know, testing people out to see exactly where their heart is at. You know.
Hi, Sandra. I was going to say, did I miss you? Sorry, I'm just shouting Sandra out. Sorry. Pauline says you're in the middle of the auto wash. Roger, you're right about Jimmy. He does, and there's a few others. There's a Canadian that's doing this, but what he's doing, I think he's making a little bit of a political statement.
I think I would do the same thing too, you know.
No, he stands out, this guy too. Okay, in Canada, his channel, after I was watching quite a few shorts by Jimmy Darts, it came up in my feed, and he'll go to the mall and he will tape money on a board and say, free money, please take if you need. I don't know if we can hear Roger off of your feed there.
Well, I saw the one where he took a car and he was trying to push the car and asking for people to help him push it to the gas station.
Yeah.
And he was pushing and pushing. And they say, hey, can you just rent the gas station right there? Can you give me a hand? And everybody was saying, no, I'm busy. They walk away. One guy did it. And he goes, here. He goes, what's this? He goes, it's the keys to this car. He goes, it's yours. And I went, what? That was so cool.
I love it. Well, this guy in Canada, I forget what his name is. So he stands at the mall or something, and he'll say, please take money if you need it. And what starts happening, people will come and take, I don't know why we can hear that. Have you got a door in that room, maybe, Faye?
A what?
Am I
No,
making noise?
I'm hearing feedback, but just wait. Well, wait, I think it stopped, so maybe it'll stop. I was hearing some feedback. No, but this guy in Canada, what he does, like I said, to repeat my, because I know you just came back on, Faye. It's okay, it's settled. Is he'll put a board, hold a board up, and he's been booted from the mall by security guards too.
Really? Just because of that?
That's why he's making a political statement, like, why can't I help people out?
Right.
And he'll put $20 Canadian bills up there. And then what people start doing, some people will take and others will give. And he, every single video, it usually seems like he has more money he's holding in his hands to share with people, because people just keep giving and giving and giving. But this is what I'm saying. So I think if we could look at money, and then we won't stick with, we didn't know what we were going to talk about, right? We know Spirit's just going to get us where we need to go. But the thing is with money is, I think if we can take a look at our belief systems, and a lot of us, myself included in the beginning, would say, I don't have any deep-rooted beliefs about money. And then when you start to unravel it, you start to look at it, and when you really start to examine it, that money's not this thing that we think it is up on this pedestal, and it's just energy.
But we put it there.
Mhm.
You know, real quick, if you allow me to, I go to Sandra Sharp.
Okay.
Sandra, there's like a bunch of kids around you. I don't know if you taught, if you're a teacher, if you taught something, but there's a bunch of kids around you. And they're all me, 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 me. Like they want something. Me, me, me.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Hang on one second. I'm over on Instagram here. Hi, Derek White Sky Cloud. And there's Tammy Riveras James over there. Sorry if you're just listening or you're live on Instagram. They don't show the comments. So I'm trying to pop back and forth. Sandra types pretty quick. Michelle has to leave over in Australia. She said, sadly, I have to leave. And she said, have a great show. It was good to see all of you. So I don't know.
Sorry,
good to see you.
I don't know if you have some feedback with that or not, but we'll see. I'm sure she'll let you know. She types pretty quick, so I'm sure she'll give you some feedback. And if you're just joining us, I should remind you, it always goes by so quick. It's just after 7, so Eastern. So to remind you all, if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to the Angel Rock, and I'm your host, Lorilei Potvin. And I have my amazing guests, Faye and Roger Garza Sr. And we're doing a few questions from Spirit. We're talking about money. And you're also listening to UFO Paranormal Radio Network out of the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana. You can also hear it on 105.3 and 107.7 FM and many other, pretty well any platform that streams podcasts and talk radio. We're carried, right, guys? You guys know that.
Yep.
Oh, Nicole, we'll see you later. Thanks for popping in. She said she's got to run out. So Sandra says, nope, unless creditors are the kids going me, 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 me. Roger, if that was...
I will argue with this. I'll argue with you all day long. I see kids around you. I don't know if you've ever, like I said, taught anything. If you did, what are they called, pre-care or something. There's a bunch of kids around her going, me, me, me. They got their hand up like, I want it. But they're going, me, me, me. And that's sad. Maybe she's going to be in a situation where a bunch of kids are there and she's got candy or something. You never know how it goes.
Maybe it's coming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Kathy, you're so sweet. She said, I'm glad of this chat on money. Many thoughts going through my head about this. Yeah, it's a different perspective, isn't it, Kathy? And the 3 things you're never supposed to talk about, right, is money, politics, and religion. And it can be very divisive. But if you step back and kind of dissect it a little bit and break it right down to everything's energy, sometimes you have a little different perspective. Julie says maybe in a past life for Sandra, what you're seeing, Roger?
I don't know. I really don't know. But
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking the same as Julie, but I
Then just jump in here and throw it in there, Faye. You're more
Yeah,
than welcome.
Okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a past life.
like if she was giving them, either candy, cake, something, cookies, anything, but they're all me, like that.
Mm. That's intriguing. Well, I don't know. So, like I said, we've talked about some deep topics here, like you said, and there's again, I don't have all the answers. I always say I'm never going to know everything until I go back home myself. But the thing is, right? Like you said, who judges you when you leave this life?
do.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think that we have a life review, and I think it was Nicole before she left. She had said we judge ourselves. We are our worst critic.
That's right. And so, Roger, did that happen to you when you had your near-death experience? Did you see your life in front of you? Did you have a review, or weren't you gone that
I don't
long?
put that in your face here. Hang on. Mhm.
Honey, who you talking to?
To you.
To you, dear.
What do you want?
You see, he doesn't ever listen to me. Anyway,
I'm welcome to my world. I don't think our spouses
my mind
do.
is constantly doing this.
I said to you, when you had your near-death experience, did you get as far to find out, or did you see your own life in review? Did you get that far? Did that happen?
Yes, I told you I did when I
Well, I'm
almost
talking.
drowned.
I'm helping you.
Okay, I was
speak to-
15 years old the first time, okay? The very
Yes.
first time. I almost drowned, and I saw my life go in front of me.
Mhm.
Just like I was watching a movie.
Okay, did you have a thought about it, or was it about what you did wrong or right, or was it just kind of a movie?
It was just like a fast movie. As I'm doing this and floating down, I see this movie in front of me as I'm floating out of my eyes.
Mhm.
Next thing you know, it's boom, I got scooped up by somebody, and then the guy took me over to the dock, and I found out the only thing I know, his name was Mike, and he was from the Marines. That's all I know.
Okay.
And I want to thank him dearly,
Archangel
then when
Michael.
then
That's
when
what I heard. That's what I heard. Archangel Michael. Maybe it was
Archangel?
It could be because I believe in Archangel Michael. I prayed to him just today.
Me too.
But the thing is, after I got my composure, he goes, "Okay, you ready?" And I went, "For what?" And he goes, "We got to go back." I said, "I got to jump in the water again?" He goes, "Yeah." He said, "Don't worry, I'll get you." I said, "No, I don't want to go." Boom, he pushed me in, and I just.
Well, okay. Well, I
That
guess
was scary.
how about the second time you had the near-death experience when you
That
were
was
older?
when I had my heart attack and my stroke.
So did you have a review then? I guess I'm sorry, Lorilei, but I'm just kind of, we're talking about,
My heart attack
Why are
and the
you
stroke.
sorry? You guys,
Oh.
you're on here. You're my guest. So
All
you
right.
can talk
But
about whatever you want.
I think it's kind of important to know.
When I had my heart attack and stroke, remember I told you I went into the tunnel.
Yeah.
I was in the dark tunnel, and all of a sudden, I was hearing voices like behind me, and I was trying to hey, that sounds like so and so, Next thing you know it, I'm up in the ceiling looking down at me in the bed, and then the doctor comes in and grabs my chart and goes, "Who's this guy?" He goes, "This is the wrong guy. We don't need this guy. Get him out of here." And the nurse goes, boom, like that on my bed and pushed me through two doors. And then the girl I was living with at the time was going, honey, are you okay? And when I woke up and found out where I was at, I got mad.
Because you
I
came
wanted to
back?
go back over there.
Yeah, because you were back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you weren't gone long enough to have a review.
No, I couldn't say that I could.
Not everybody does, though.
Yeah.
From studying this for over 40 years now.
Yeah.
Well, I was over there,
Oh, I believe you. I know you were.
And then the third time, I was on the phone. I was living in Texas, and I was on the phone with my daughter here in Minnesota. And as I was talking to her, lightning hit outside, a big bolt.
I remember you said this, yeah.
And it went through my hand.
Oh, my God.
And she goes, Dad, what was that? I said, it was lightning. I said, it went through my head. I said, I'm going to hang up. Bye. And then the last one was on the escalator when I fell backwards. and I was tumbling with the escalator. I swear to you, God is my witness. I really thought I was going to die.
Mm-hmm.
That was so scary.
Well, painful. Okay. Well, thank you, honey. Thank you for that.
Thing with it, okay, so the thing with near-death experiences, and there's people that will generalize and say, oh, you go through a tunnel and blah, blah. I'm going to tell you, and I have, between talking to patients that were there 1 minute and then keeled over, and then you resuscitate them, and, of course, they're going to end up in ICU, but I used to work on cardiac step-downs, so they would come back onto our floor. Also worked with palliative care on that floor, and some people wanted to be resuscitated, so you would. And with working nights, it was always busy, but you become a nurse because you love people. So I would, once everything was done, if I got a chance to, sit and visit with people if they were awake at night and needed to talk.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had patients share their experiences, and I can tell you, I have probably looked at over probably a good 10,000 cases between professionally and personally. And it doesn't mean I know everything. So not everybody has the same experience. They're
Yeah.
so unique and individual. Not everybody has a life review.
Let me give you one true story, okay? I was reading for this girl that I hadn't seen in years since she was a little baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at her, I said, because I still didn't recognize her. And I said, Mom's gone. And she goes, yes. I said, Mom's telling me to tell you that when Grandma, and I'll just change the name, I said, when Grandma Molly dies, she's going to go shopping with Mom. Oh, okay. So they left it at that. 2 years later, Grandma Molly has a heart attack. They hit the paddles on her 18 times. And they were, everybody's yelling at her, please get up, wake up, wake up. So when she came back again and was coherent, they said, where were you? She goes, oh, I went shopping with so-and-so.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so weird when she told me that. I went, what? It really happened?
Well, that's what I was going to say, though. The only place there's time is here. It's a man-made concept. So you could only be gone 5 minutes and live years over on the other side. And the other thing is, too, like I said, with having a near-death experience as a toddler, I don't remember it that clearly, but I know when people start to talk about their experience, it's like I can feel it again, I can see it, and I get little flashbacks in between about what happened. But the thing is, as I understand with a life review, you get to experience what other people experience with you in this lifetime, like how they felt or what you did. Like, I know there's been many people I've looked at that have talked about really done a lot of charity work and done these really big monumental things. And then they'll have a life review because they've had a near-death experience. And I guess they were meant to have it at that time. No, stop. Now my cat's singing. I'm sorry. She's singing the song of the people while we're doing this. So anyways, and they thought, for sure, like that would be a big thing. It would come up. And so many people have reported that the little things that they did in life that they really thought were so inconsequential were actually the really huge things, because it had such a profound effect on like a stranger, like carrying the groceries to an older person's car, and you get to experience what they felt and what they went through. That's what the learning experience is about. So I don't think anybody judges us. What's that? Oh,
just like our t-shirts where it says love everyone you can on this earth, because love is life and life is love.
Absolutely. I love it. It's beautiful. Beautiful. I always give you guys time at the end of the show, and you can tell people where to get them. I have them in the write-up where how to get a hold of you guys and the whole bit. Those are beautiful,
cool.
by the way.
Well, just tell us what size you wear. Right now we don't have any 3X's. What?
Wear a 3X. Roger, you're so bad. I like men's XLs. So I like what Julie wrote here. She said, from what I understand, is sometimes we go through healing before the life review. Absolutely. I have heard that too. Mm-hmm.
All I know is this: I was out. I was gone.
But everybody's experience is so different. I have even heard of people having what they would describe as a hell experience.
Right.
Very often, but
So I was able to go watch the movie Afterlife as well. There was a movie out put out in late fall.
mhm,
I think it was called After Death, and it talked and uh, it was like a documentary
mhm.
movie. And
Okay.
maybe you already heard about this. I don't know, but it was
Okay.
a cardiologist, I believe, who
Right.
did not believe in the 80s that people had near-death
Mhm,
experiences. But a nurse, a very smart nurse, said, "Are you hearing people say they have they come back from death and they have
mhm,
these experiences?" And the doctor said, "No." And so, but then the doctor decided to because he got so much pressure from her, and he just said, "Well, let me think about this." And he started to he started to interview his different patients who had died, and he was
mhm,
able to resuscitate or whatever, come back. And like you say, a lot of their near-death experiences were different. Some
mhm.
of them were hellish,
Yeah.
and they did have to. They talked to whatever, and also what was imp kind of, interesting to me, very interesting to me, was when they had different belief systems as well. They saw things as to how their belief system
Mhm,
was. If they
mhm,
were maybe a Catholic, they may see saints, they may see or if they believed in darkness before they see lightness, that's kind of what they saw. But,
absolutely.
like maybe a purgatory or something like that, I don't know.
Honey,
Um,
regarding what you're saying right now about the darkness, this is a true story. I did a reading for a lady one time.
I'm going to
That,
be here. I'm just going to let her out so she stops singing. Go ahead.
okay, I did a reading for a lady one time,
Okay.
and I told her, I said, I'm picking up this younger guy. He tells me his name is so and so. I said he's in like a cell, a jail cell, but there's no windows or no doors, and it's all black and steel.
Yep.
And he's pounding on it, going, "Let me out! Let me
Yep.
out! I
Mhm,
don't need to be here," and all that. And
mhm.
I'm describing to the lady, and she goes, "Yes, I know who you're talking about." And I said, "Well, he wants out." Like she goes, "No, he doesn't deserve to be out." She said he killed 3 people, so
well,
that's why he was in that box.
okay. But I mean,
Go ahead.
yeah. For me, I do a lot, whatever Roger has done in the past 6 years on his shows. I have watched with great interest because at first I wasn't quite sure what he was saying was true. Tell you the truth, I was helping him produce the shows. I was
She was
hoping that
going,
it
"Are
was
you
all true.
nuts?"
I was a little bit skeptic, but then all of a sudden, all of these questions started to form in my head. Like, was that really the case? Was that? And as I kept on listening to him and hearing the responses from the people, I thought, well, okay, Faye, you're learning something new. And then the whole afterlife experience. That's why it's so intriguing to me because there's just so many different ways that people experience it. Um,
And I told Faye, if I go see the movie, I know I'll stand up and say something.
you will, because you do that now. And you also had another experience in one of your readings where you saw the gates of heaven, actually.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't have to go into that. But even some of these after death experiences, they kind of talk about that too. So I mean, it was a great movie. I have to say, it was good
I'm
for me.
trying to think if I started to watch it. I think I might have. But what I was going to say, though, okay, so we're going to get really deep here today. Okay, so you're talking about this gentleman that's in his own prison with no walls and no light and no doors or anything,
Mm.
right? And you said something very profound that he killed.
Just like that. He's in a place
Okay,
like that, all
okay,
black.
he killed 3 people. But
Yeah.
okay, so I'm just going to put some food for thought out here. Okay. And I've had many deep discussions about this, not so much on air, because we look at it from a perspective of justice, and that is absolutely horrific, and it is horrific what was done. But if we look at from a soul perspective, and if we really are all a part of each other, and if you think about this, sometimes the person that can be your worst enemy on earth here
Yep.
and be the most awful to you can actually be one of your soul family that's made the agreement to be that awful person, to do those things. And it's what we choose to do with it and what we learn from it. So that guy, even though I truly believe if we've lived many lives, which I believe many of us in this field have, we've been that killer ourselves. We've been kings, we've been queens, we've been poor, we've been it all, right? I think we have. So he could have created this prison for himself by beating himself up, whether it's religious dogma that he believed what awaited him, or what his thought process was when he passed.
To me, it
But
was
he
like
won't
a
stay there
holding
forever.
cell.
He won't stay there forever because I think that
Right, because to me it was like a holding cell until he was going to be looked at or judged or whatever.
I
You
don't
know,
think he
it
would have
was
been judged. I think he
no,
was
well,
judging
it
himself.
was kind of like they say you go to purgatory and you go through all the fire first before you're cleansed. And I'm going, what? That but to me it was like
It
a
took
holding
me
cell.
forever to ever realize, and again, I don't have all the answers, but it makes sense to me now that there is no hell. Are there lower dimensions where all that negative energy, negative thoughts, negative actions, negative whatever has to go? Yes. But there is no judgment when we go back. There's only love.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel the same. The more I read, the more I realize that is true. And you know what's funny is I said something in speech class back in 11th grade, which I thought was so profound, and I don't even know if I knew what I was talking about. I said, therefore, there is no hell. I don't even know what I was talking
It
about,
took
but
me forever, Faye, because I
Right.
was forced to go to Catholic church, Catholic school, the whole bit, right? It had been pounded into me. Go ahead. Sorry, I had to throw that in there.
no, that's okay. I mean, I don't even know if I think I said it to be rebellious or something, but then I kind of thought about it and I said, it just doesn't make sense. If God loves us so much, and that's my belief system, then why would he put anybody to hell? Because he loves us all equally, which was another thing that I had to deal with. But that's my belief system. I don't expect
I
everybody
agree with you because I had a really profound experience a couple of years ago, and I had found I don't know if it was Next Level Soul podcast or another one, and it was somebody channeling because I'm fascinated. I think one day I probably am going to be doing channeling. I can do automatic writing, but I'm really fascinated with it. And everybody asks this question, right? We hear it all the time. What is the meaning of life? Why are we here? And if, and it kind of resonated with me. And again, it may not with anybody else, and that's okay. But I believe there are souls lined up to come here because we come here, most of us with spiritual amnesia, meaning we don't remember our past lives. We come in this dense, heavy, fragile body, right? But there is the biggest potential to learn here because of this experience, right? They call it Earth School. And what made me realize, if you really think about it, what this channel had said, that the reason why souls want to come here, never mind for the learning potential and growth potential for our souls, is also because there is nothing but love on the other side. So we come here to experience, and we're also all one. Right. So we come here to experience the separateness. We come here to experience the depth and breadth of different emotions. Never mind that we truly know what love just is. Because if all you know is love, do you really know it? Because you don't know anything, right? I don't know.
That goes to when I told everybody on the show, I said, before I died, I said, I was a complete a-hole. I mean, completely. Nobody else. I didn't care about anybody but me. When I came back, I said, I made sure that I told everybody, please forgive me for how I was. I also said, when I came back, I had so much love to give. And then Faye says, why are you such a loving man? I said, because I was over there and I came back.
See, that's what I'm saying, right? So now you know, and you get to see the big picture and feel and see. Like you said, you were mad when you came back because it was like, I don't want to come back here. I want to go back home. I want to be where,
I can say truly I was blessed, not only because of Faye, but I was blessed for being over there and coming back.
Do you know what I was just thinking when you were talking is maybe the reason why you two got together when you did, never mind that I believe everything happens when it's meant to, is imagine if Faye had been with you before you had your near-death experience, Roger. Right?
I don't know if I would have been able to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I would have said go
Yeah.
and go quickly.
Yeah.
Because if you would have seen the expression on her face when I said to her, I said, "Oh, by the way, I'm a psychic medium."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Oh, sure you are. I said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was just thinking that though, right? Like, because
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you should share with our viewers. Most of them know, but some of them may not. When did you tell your story about when Roger? I thought you guys were going out in high school, but that's not quite what happened.
No,
Roger.
we had classes together in
We
high
had classes
school.
together.
Jason.
I wasn't paying attention to him at all.
Mhm.
Oh no, she had her books like this, had
I
her
was-
head
I
down and
was-
walked right past me.
I was
Yeah,
worried.
but you were in love with her since high
Yes,
school,
because I
right?
would go like this. Just one day. That's all I need is one day.
And I was just so busy worried about getting. So I was new to the school and new
Right.
to a city school. I was
Mhm.
from a farm community.
Right.
So then I was juxtaposed into,
Yeah.
the big city
Mhm.
and all this diversity, which was kind of, intimidating.
Mhm.
And all I could do was just get from one class to the other. And apparently he saw me and I was just too busy worrying about, getting to class.
And
And
here's the way it came about 55 years later.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So now you guys get together. You
Yeah,
said
she came to
55
hear me
years
play
later.
music.
Mhm.
She came to one of my gigs, and then afterwards, we 2 days later, because she walked out of me when I'm dedicating songs, singing to her, and everything.
And
And
you're
then all of a
probably
sudden,
saying,
I put my
how
guitar
does
down,
this
I
guy
turn
know
around, and she's
a
gone.
song about Faye? And how does he know this?
And then she was gone, and I went, "What did I say? What did I do wrong?"
well, see,
So-
I didn't quite believe him. I mean, I thought, well, he's just being just really charming and
And I was just dead serious about
well,
everything.
and I had been through a couple of really bad marriages, and so I didn't want to be put in
Lorilei,
so
check
vulnerable
this out.
Okay.
spot.
When we got together, I finally go up to her, I said, "Wouldn't it be cool to be Mrs. Garza?" And she goes, "Yeah, why not?" And I went, "Huh?" Like it caught me off guard.
He about
That's
choked on
what
his
I'm
words.
saying. So when you were talking here, it just occurred to me, yeah, you guys got together when you did, because you probably wouldn't have been together had
No.
you been
That's
with
what she
him.
says.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had
Just
to
the
go
right
through some
timing.
I
But here's the thing,
had to
though.
go through I
When
had
I
to go
was
through
in Texas, I would pray. I would say, "Lord, please give me somebody who's worthy of my love, and I will be worthy of theirs."
Aw.
And I would always say, "And please, Lord," I said, "if you don't mind, can you make sure they have their own money so I don't have to pay for everything?" That's the gospel truth.
You know what? One of my favorite movies is. It's from the 80s. I'm looking at it. When it was made in 1987, and it's called Made in Heaven. Have you ever seen it?
I don't
It's
know.
with Timothy. Is it Hutton? I think Hutton. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Timothy Hutton and Kelly McGillis. It has. Do you remember from Officer and a Gentleman, Deborah Winger?
Yeah.
And what it's about. And this was so profound for me, this movie back in the 80s. I didn't know why, and I've always loved this movie. And Timothy Hutton, who was a bigger movie star back then in the 80s, it's in black and white. The movie starts out, and he's just home. I think it's from, I want to say, the Second World War. It might have been Vietnam, but I think it was the Second World War. And he's leaving town. He loves his mom and dad. He's been a great son, and he's got his dog. And they're heading out, I think, to the big city to get a job or something. He's still in his military uniform, and he's, I don't know, 8 hours away from home, and he's crossing a bridge, and there's a car accident with one of those old time cars, and the car is sinking, and there's children in the car, and he jumps in to go and save the children, and he dies. But then you see him in heaven, And long story short, he has a love affair with a new soul, Kelly McGillis. And she all of a sudden is deciding she's now going to come to Earth and have an experience. So he goes to God, and I'm not giving a lot away. And he says, I can't live without her. I have to be with her. And I think God says something to the effect of, well, it's not your time to go back. He says, I need to be with her. So I think he has till the age of 28 to find her. And if he doesn't, they'll never find each other again.
Oh,
Anyways, it is such it's a really, like, I mean, it's 80s, it's an 80s movie. So
That's a
Sure.
good show.
it was a really good movie. So if you get a chance, watch it. It's awesome.
Oh, I
What's it
will.
called again?
It's called, I'll send it to you. It's called Made in Heaven. I'll send it to you right
I
now.
think I remember the previews for that. But I mean, while Roger was praying for his soulmate, I was also praying for my soulmate.
See?
And I was all about manifesting at the time,
Were
and I
you?
still am. I still am. And
I know
so,
she
but
wants me to leave.
I thought, I know I did it with, kind of on a whim. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't sure I was all that serious. I wanted to believe in it, but I wasn't sure. But I
Mm-hmm.
did. I prayed and I was very specific about who I wanted. I didn't want anybody like I had before. And it took a while for it to happen. But then when it did, it hit me like a ton of bricks when I saw him for the first time. And, how many 50 years later was it? I'm not even sure.
55, honey.
55 years later, I see him and I'm 16 again. And
Oh,
and it was so powerful. That's why I ran, because I had a hard time thinking that something so wonderful could happen to me. Isn't that sad? And then I
well,
but that was me then, and
mm-hmm.
not me now. I mean, I believe it was supposed to happen. And when I found out he was praying and I was praying at the same time, just imagine what you can do. Just look what we can do.
Well,
Look what
that's
we
what I
can.
was going to say to you. You said some pretty profound things there. First of all, you said that you both were asking for each other, basically. But I love what you said, Faye, that you were very specific, because a lot of people don't realize that, right? The more specific, and again, I don't know everything, but it just seems to make sense that the more specific we can be with, you want to call it spirit, you want to call it the universe, whatever you want, the more specific spirit or universe will be with you. Otherwise, they're just going to keep bringing you someone. Like, I want someone with this or with that,
Yeah,
or is this the right one, right? But you
right,
know what else I always say to people too? Because lots of people will say, I don't know what I want. Then I always say, then start with what you don't want. Like,
right,
because that's going to narrow down
right.
categories. Okay, I'm going to show a picture of this movie for people that don't know. Because, like I say,
Okay,
be prepared. It's an 80s movie,
okay.
and it's wrong file there. Sorry, guys, I hit the wrong
I got
file.
it. You sent it to me. I got it.
I know I sent it to you, both of you guys. Of
Well, I
course,
would love
And
to
now
see what
Faye's praying and she goes, God, do you take trade-ins?
I take trade-ins. Oh my goodness,
A
Roger.
car. I sold cars for 27 years. What do you want?
Okay, it'll just be up there quick, and I'll blow it up. Hang on, hopefully it'll
Okay,
let
I
me.
think I remember
Okay,
seeing
cool.
the
You
previews of
couldn't
it.
miss this movie. It was
Right.
a pretty good size, pretty, did pretty well in the 80s. So for people listening, I'm just showing a picture of the cover off of it. Probably would have been a VHS at that time, VHS tape for this movie. It was a really good movie, and it's called Made in Heaven.
Look how young he looks. Oh my gosh.
I know, and Kelly McGillis too,
I know.
because she certainly has matured, I'll say.
Doesn't look like that anymore. No.
No, that's just it. Yeah, it doesn't look like that
No.
anymore. Here, I'll
Mm-mm.
close that on you guys. But no, that's what I'm saying. So I think that that's important, right? And
Yeah.
I've been trying to tell myself, because the things I talk about, I really do try to remember that if I'm going to be talking about it, I got to be doing it myself, right? Otherwise,
Yeah.
I feel like it just makes me a phony.
I agree.
I tell myself now when something doesn't happen that I want to happen, or even if I'm late, or if whatever, everything happens for a reason. And then I also try to tell myself I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now, especially when there's crappy stuff going on,
Yeah.
because right, we all go through crappy stuff.
Yeah, we do. I mean, it, and I think it's also, I had to learn patience because when I put that prayer out there, I think it was like right around 2012,
Mhm.
and Roger didn't show up until 2017. Well, it's because I had to still get myself prepared, I think. I think I had to go through some
Do you?
uh
Well, that's what I was going
changes.
to ask you.
Yeah.
Because Roger, were you waiting a while too? And before you answer, all I was going to say is, was it maybe because either one of you believed it was going to take some time to find that person, or like you said, Faye, and I really appreciate that you shared that too, that you were concerned. You really didn't want to get involved with someone else after being through some bad marriages, right? There's some fear involved with that as
Right.
well.
Right. There's some, anxiety a little bit. I just didn't want to say, okay, well, this is another disappointment. But uh, I don't know if when Roger started doing his
As I was
prayers.
just going to ask you, Roger. So did you find it took a long time too, or?
I was there were times when I have like 10-year spells of being single because it made me mad because women could not understand me and I couldn't understand me either because I didn't know I had the gift then.
Right.
And it was just I was a difficult person to deal with because I was too antsy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And what it was is the spirit was talking to me and telling me, "Come on, we got to do this, we got to do that."
Mm-hmm.
Did you pray in 2012 or was it later or when did you start praying?
I prayed every time, all
Okay.
the time. When I was doing my radio show, I told myself on my radio show, and I kept saying this, God, I need to have my own. I need an office, Lord. Please let me get an office so I can work out of the office.
And it
Not,
took a long time.
and
So,
then I meet Faye, bang, I got it.
well, so I think it's, it doesn't really, I guess, matter, but I think the reason it happens is you're finally ready. And for me, maybe, or anything that is manifested, I think, comes at a perfect time. And we went through
Always and forever,
a
God's will, God's time. It was on my door.
we learned something from our own experiences. This is
Yeah.
the journey. This is the experience. I feel like I have had like three different lives in my one life. Um, it was there was me young, there was me young married, there was me middle-aged married, and then now later on, and all the joys that we share our joys together. It's
And
really something
everybody
else.
would say, "Are you nuts?" I was 67 years old.
Are you
And they're going, "Are you
serious?
crazy? What are you nuts?"
You guys look so young. You guys do. You look young. You look like you're in
Well,
your
that's
40s
the
or 50s.
that's what we're grateful for, that we've been on this earth this long, and that
Yep.
we're able to have a good time.
You know what I heard when you said you lived 3 lifetimes? I kept hearing that was just phase one. That was phase two. Now you're in phase three.
I know. I'm on phase 3.
Yeah, you're in phase three. I think
I
I
know.
saw Case in here. He's over in Sri Lanka. I don't know where his
Oh,
comment
cool.
went. So I hope you didn't get you're able to stay connected, Case. Oh no, I see him. He's higher up, Cason.
Hey, he's there.
Yeah. So hi, Kason. If I didn't get a chance, I did say hi, but I didn't know if you were able to hear because got lots to talk about. So it's good. Actually, I'm really glad that we talked about the things that we have tonight, because for people to hear this, because I don't know about both of you, but you guys have 3 shows a week, and I'm noticing there's a lot of people out there really having a difficult time trying to understand like what's going on. Why am I going through this? Why am I not, I feel like I'm doing everything right, yet things aren't coming to me the way I want them to come to me. And the one good thing I will add is I do know on the other side, as I call it, going back home, manifestation is instant. But in a way, there's the old saying, right? Be careful what you ask for, you might just get it. But
Mhm.
manifestation is slower on this side, and a good thing it is. What do you both think about that?
I think so. I mean, I think so. I think you appreciate it when it happens.
Hmm.
I think, you really say, "Oh, this is really cool." I mean, I didn't know this was gonna be possible for me. Holy cow. I
Well, like
didn't
for me,
you know?
in high school, I had I shouldn't say the hots, but I was hot on the trail for in high school, and she would go by me and ignore me, and I would just say, "Damn it, just one time. That's all I needed, one
You were
time."
only 5'6" and you weighed about
Yeah, I
129
weighed
pounds.
125 pounds and I was 5'6", a little twerpy.
What are you
Hmm.
gonna do? You
So
know?
then when I stood in front of her this last time, when we saw each other again, I stood in front of her. I was like, "Hi," like that. She's like, "Holy shit."
Hmm. Yeah, it's interesting. And then you run into people from high school, or you connect with them again online. And I ran into somebody, I don't think I've even told this story on the show. It was just before Christmas, and I talked to him all the time. And I was always friends with everybody in my high school because my parents forced me to go to Catholic high school. And I finally talked them into letting me go in grade 10 or 10th grade. So everybody else is, I guess you guys, what would you call that? Not junior year. What's your 10th grade in the
Um, that's sophomore year.
Okay, I was
No,
Uh,
gonna say
sophomore,
sophomore.
honey.
Okay.
Is it
mhm,
sophomore?
So
Oh yeah, freshman, sophomore, senior.
okay.
Yeah.
So your
mm,
freshman year in high school, or
yeah,
we call it ninth grade,
right,
everybody's made all their friend groups and everything else. So somebody coming in 10th grade, it's kind of like either you sink or swim, right? So
right,
I was friends with everybody, but not really a cliquey group.
right.
And this guy that I ran into just before Christmas, he went to the Olympics. He was on, like, we had some really big ski jumpers in our area that year, like the Winter Olympics, and he was on football. Like everybody knew this guy, like probably US and Canada, right? And then we reconnected over Facebook about 10 years ago. So I still chat to him from time to time, but I haven't seen him in years. Like he lived out on the East Coast in Canada. And I'm walking along, and when I go shopping, because when we started the show, you affect people's energy and they kind of get drawn and they'll tell you their whole life story. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but sometimes you just don't have the time, right? So you should just put my blinders on and go get what I need to get. And I'm going along in my own little world thinking about Christmas shopping. What am I going to pick up? And all of a sudden I feel these eyes and I look up. Who's that guy? And I keep going, keep going, keep going. And I hear Lorilei. And I'm thinking, that person has to know me because I have such a strange name. You don't hear that name all the time. And then they go,
No,
Lorilei. And I turn around. It's him. Him and
Um,
his sister were out shopping. Guess what his first name is, Roger?
uh,
Roger.
Roger. I picked it out.
I was so shocked he hadn't told me he was coming back to the city here. Because, like I said, he lives over in two provinces, or no more than that, probably 3 or 4 provinces away from me. And yeah, so what a shock. And none of us look like what we look like in high school pretty well. So,
No.
Dear, I am picking up something for Kason Lee.
oh, good. I'm glad. Give him, yeah, he could probably, sure, will appreciate a message from you.
Sir, I don't know you, but I'm picking this up. I don't know where this place is.
He's in Sri Lanka.
No, what I'm saying, where he goes.
Oh, okay.
It's I don't know if it's a restaurant or what it is, but you walk in through the hallway. It is the color of the place. Come on. The color of the place is this color. A tan type, manila type.
Oh, okay. It almost look white. Okay. It's tan color.
Okay.
Okay.
And you walk in this hallway and it's got like a fence here. And then you walk down 2 steps. And then the corner on the left-hand side, it's either a Buddha made of gold, or it's the Egyptian one where they're like this, and it's made of gold. And I think you put coins in the fountain. And if that be the case where he's gone there, that the statue is asking him to come back.
Interesting. Do you know why, Roger, or you're just picking it up that it wants him to come back?
Why it wants him to, it's like he's supposed to be a part of that. Like he's got a connection with this statue, whatever it is, whether it be Buddha or the I want to say like an Egyptian monk, something.
Do you
but
mean
it's like this.
spiritually? Do you mean spiritually?
Yeah, there's a connection with him there.
How about healing, Roger? Because that's what I was hearing, that there's going to be some healing.
It could be that if he goes back. It's like he's supposed to be in front of it and pray, and like all the energy will come around him.
Well, I have to see what he says.
So I don't know if he goes to a place like that or not.
Or knows of a place?
Or no, he has to have gone in, because I see him walking down this hallway, and there's, like I said, a fence, a wrought iron fence. It's like that, and it's painted either white and gold, something like that.
Because he
But
just
you go down 2 stairs, and it's right there in the corner on the left side.
he says so.
I pick it up. I know I pick it up.
Yeah. Like you say, this is the funny thing when we were talking tonight too. He said, right, there's no time on the other side. So sometimes we get stuff from the future too when it comes.
Yep.
Sometimes like it could be a past life. Like we don't always
The
get
lights to the place, they come down like this, and it's a great big ball. The lights of the whole place. There's all big balls all over that are lit. Usually you would have like regular fluorescent lighting and all that. No.
Yeah, because he says, is this physically? So.
Yeah, it's like a big ball that hangs out of like a pole or something. And there's a bunch of them like that.
So they're off the ceiling as light fixtures then?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he might have to think about it. Maybe, sometimes people do. He's messaged me before. So if he figures it out, he'll have to let me know, and I'll let you guys.
Yeah, let us know.
Goes there, I'd like to know about it too.
Yeah.
I would definitely let you know for sure. You guys, we are out of time already. This just goes way too quick. It does.
It's awesome.
Now.
So please tell them all about your shows, how to get a hold of you, where to get the T-shirts that you showed, the whole bit.
You go, honey.
You got to buy the T-shirts right here. No. This is the one that's called our show that is on Saturday. It is called This Mug's for You, and my honey was the one that gave it the name, and it's meaning a coffee mug. Okay. What it says on the coffee mug is written on our T-shirts. Love everyone you can on this earth, because love is life and life is love. That's our Saturday show. Our Wednesday show is called Latino Psychic Visions, and these are the old shirts that we have for that. Okay.
Beautiful.
And then we just updated. This was the first shirt that we ever made. They're like this.
Oh, those are beautiful.
Aren't they cool?
On the bottom, it's got this.
It's our phone number.
Oh, okay. It's like
our phone number.
But what our shows are on Wednesday night is Latino Psychic Visions show is on Wednesday afternoon, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
And then our Saturday show, This Mug's for You, is at 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern. And then I have my own show. It's Faye's Angels, and I'm really excited about it because I get to have wonderful guests on the show like Lorilei and other psychic mediums, Julie Bassett. There's going to be some more people coming.
Stephen Chong, you're going to be having on.
I'm going to have, yep. I mean, they are all saying yes to me, which is just phenomenal to me.
Most people say yes, and I have to remind myself of that sometimes too, because I'm looking at reaching out to some people that I watch regularly, because all they can say is no, or maybe might take a year to get them on, but I got to do it myself. So,
well, realistically speaking, it's a way to promote them on their shows, so why wouldn't they say yes?
For
Well,
sure.
it's also
Okay, so
really fun to talk about the things that are very intriguing to me, because I have my show because at first I didn't really want to do it. I didn't want to put myself out there, but then I started to think about all the things that were so intriguing to me, or I had questions on, that I thought maybe the viewers also had questions on that we should talk about a little bit in depth.
I
And so it's a journey for me. It's my own
I
journey that I love
knew
to share.
you could do it. You guys, I'm not trying to cut you off here. We only got about a minute left. So
Oh,
where
really?
can they get a hold of you? How can they get a hold of you guys?
Okay, our phone number is 715-688-4091. You can check out, messenger Roger Garza Senior there, and messenger him on Facebook.
Go
Maybe
on
go
our
on
website, Latino Psychic Visions. Okay, we're on there.
Latino.com.
Um, Go. In fact, if you get a chance to watch what's today's Monday, watch Saturday's show. Rewatch it, and Wednesday's show. I blew everybody away on Wednesday's show.
Yes, you guys can find that under Roger Garza Senior on YouTube or like on Facebook. You have
On Latino Psychic Visions, yeah.
And then Faye's Angels, is that on your YouTube or do you go on?
Yes, it's on Latino Psychic Visions Facebook page because that's who's producing it. And then I have my own channel, Faye's Angels. So it's YouTube,
Oh,
Faye's Angels. So anyway.
awesome. We're going to say something else, Faye?
Nope.
Oh, okay. You guys, okay, we got 2 seconds here. So I'm just going to let you know if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please stay tuned for friends of ours and the regular weekly show here, which is the Horsefly Chronicles with Philip and Julia Syracusa. If you ever want to get a hold of me to book a reading, I do energy healing. I also do mentoring and teaching. Get a hold of me on facebook.com/Angel Rock. I have 3 groups on Facebook now. I have the Angel Rocker Tribe for all things spiritual, Paranormal University for all things paranormal. And then I started the group for our show with David Hansel, The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. Some people are starting to share a few things. Maybe they find strange, spooky show ideas, topics, whatever. We'd love to have you over there. And stay tuned because I will be here back with David again, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Thursday with The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. And next Monday, I forgot to check to see who my guest is. They're going to be awesome. We always get the awesomest guests here with the awesomest audience. We love you all. Thank you, Faye and Roger, for being here. We will have them back on again. And just so you know, I'm going to read really quickly, and then we got to pop off. Kaysen's feedback.
Did you see what he put out?
I'm going to just read it really quick because we got to get off of here. So Roger, Kaysen says, Roger picked up on the Buddha. Well, I was raised a Buddhist. Might be the temple of the tooth of the Buddha. So awesome job, Roger. Thank you for the feedback, Kaysen.
Thank you, Kaysen.
And we will see you on Thursday and next Monday.
Yes.
Thank you, Lorilei.
Much love.
Love you, Lorilei. Thank you for being